Complaining can keep you in misery. So demons want you to complain as much as possible to as many who will let you. They want you to go on and on and on about how you have suffered, endured pain in your past, because it brings joy to them that you are still feeling negatively affected and have not forgotten or forgiven those who hurt you, and let it go. And then you stay in victim mode. So remember how much the Israelites, they complained all the time when they're out in the desert, instead of having a heart of gratitude that they were no longer slaves. They could have walked into the promised land in a few days, but because of their complaining, God caused them to stay in the wilderness. Then they all died, except for Joshua and Caleb. And of course Moses, but Moses couldn't even go into the promised land. So could your complaints be keeping you in the desert? Have you ever been around a person who complains about everything? It often depresses you as you listen to their talk negatively about people who often have been out of their lives for years. Eventually it wears on you, as it's hard to stay positive anymore or try to encourage or lift them up. You feel like you have to be negative along with them. And then you languish together in sympathy and pity. You often take on the poor me attitude that they have. Now demons, of course, are thrilled, because now you're both on their territory and you're both complaining about how you've been done wrong, which keeps you, in unforgiveness, allows demons to keep tormenting you, according to Matthew chapter 18, verses 34 through 35. We need to make sure that we don't continue to stay in that. We need to forgive everyone that has done us wrong. I had a mentor that for several years who would never let me speak any words of negativity. And at the time I was going through some extreme, horrible emotional abuse. It was awful. And what I learned about not complaining about my horrible circumstances was that God wanted me to forgive my abuser and come to him, and not go to others for my source of strength or support. I also learned that Satan wanted me to be tortured so much that I would want to complain to others about my circumstances, but I refused to cooperate with him. It was not easy at all, extremely hard. Complaining, though, will stop our ability to truly forgive, like Jesus said that we must do from our hearts. And it allows demons to then, torment us. Long suffering is a fruit of the Spirit. So Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit." So often your negative circumstances won't change until you stop complaining. After I had finally broken free from my abuser, the Lord used me to then help others to get healed and delivered. And the fruit of the ministry has been tremendous around the world, as we have helped tens of thousands of people, maybe even hundreds of thousands, to get healed from their hurts and their wounds, to forgive, and at birth now a worldwide deliverance ministry. So God uses our greatest pain to become our strongest resource, as we are anointed to help others overcome the very same pain that we went through. When we don't complain about our pain, we go to God, we become stronger spiritually. And that's what we need to do. That's what the Lord wants to do. Think about David. He was attacked by Saul for over 7 years. Eventually he became king. Think about Joseph. He was wrongly accused of rape, and he was thrown into prison for 2-3 years. And then he finally was put into number 2 in command. So Philippians chapter 2, verses 14 through 16 says, "Do all things without complaining and disputing, that you may become blameless and harmless, children of God, without fault, in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation, among whom you shine as lights in the works, holding fast to the words of life, so that they rejoice in the day of Christ, that I have not run in vain or labored in vain." All right, so I have a book called Freedom from Soul Wounds and Demons, helping thousands of people to get healed and delivered. That book's available on Amazon in paperback, Kindle, and Audible, also in Spanish. It's called Freedom from Soul Wounds and Demons. I also take people through personal sessions of healing and deliverance. If you're interested in that, go out to restoredtofreedom.com. Click on Contact Me, submit the form, or you can call 317-459-7091. Thanks.